Yeah, I was thinking about, we'll take a little break here from actually queuing. I wanted to, there's been a few days in the season now. All right, so what is today? Today's Friday? Oh, Thursday. Today's Thursday. So we've had Tuesday, all of Tuesday and all of Wednesday and a little bit of Thursday to look. But I kind of wanted to look at just like what is going on. Now, as a little bit of a precursor, you know, the stats we see in front of us aren't necessarily the whole story, but I figured it would be interesting to just take a look at them for the different brackets and kind of get like an idea of what is popular, what people are doing, all that good stuff. Okay, so we're gonna just go over some statistical analysis right now. I'm really curious about this. Okay, so we're gonna look at the 3v3. First of all, we'll start with 3v3. I'm gonna go over Arena, Solo Shuffle, and Battleground Blitz, okay? So these three things I wanna take a look at. We could take a look at, let's look at the top 1,000. We'll look at a bigger sample size, okay? So for the US 3v3, since the season started, top 1,000. This is what we're looking at in terms of popularity. So we look at melee popularity in 3v3. We've got Fury Warriors by far the most popular, followed by Unholy Death Knight, and then a sharp decline afterwards with Ferals, Windwalker Monks, Rep Paladins, Sub, Asa, Arms, and then at the very bottom, kind of surprising, Demon Hunters. You know what I mean? At the bottom, you have Enhancement Shamans. That doesn't surprise me that much, but Demon Hunters being so underrepresented is very interesting to me. So that's what's going on in the melee category. For ranged DPS, you have Affliction Warlock and Frost Mage. Kind of surprising, Shadow Priest is as popular as Frost Mage, or at least is as well represented in the top 1,000. That's a little surprising to me. You have a really, really close Marks Hunter. And then after that, we've got Devastation Evoker, Boomkins, and then kind of a steep decline in the rest. So Destro, Ellie, Demo, Og. Og is actually more popular than Arcane and Fire, and then Beast Mastery being the least popular ranged DPS specialization in 3v3. And then for healers, we've got Disc. A lot of people are saying that Preservation Evoker is the best healer. I think Disc is right close to it. It's really, really close, but Disc being more popular. I still think Prez is better, but Disc is a little bit more popular here. Not by much, but these two are obviously by far the most popular, followed by Resto Druid, Resto Shaman, Holy Paladin, Mistweaver Monk, and then Holy Priest being the least popular, least represented in threes. Okay, so that is the 3v3 bracket for North America. We can take a look at Shuffle and see if it's any different, any surprises here. Let's go to Shuffle. We'll do 1,800 plus. 1,800 plus, I think is decent. Like, oh my God, look at this graph. This graph is really lopsided. Like, kind of remarkable. That is really, really, really lopsided. Like I said, it's early in the season, so it's hard exactly, but you can kind of get an idea. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire. So you can get an idea of what people are interested in playing and what they're pushing on and stuff like that. So, all right, so melee and Solo Shuffle, very similar. We got the Fury War, we got the Unholy, we've got the Windwalker, we've got the Ret, followed by, you know, some of the rogue specializations, Survival Hunter, and then the least popular specializations being Frost Decay, Outlaw Rogue, Havoc Demon Hunter, Enhancement Shaman, and Arms Warrior. Okay, so melee, very similar. You could tell that both Fury and Unholy are kind of at the top. In Solo Shuffle in particular, at 1,800 plus in North America, you actually have Marks Hunter as the most popular range specialization. So a little bit of a difference there from 3v3. Followed by Devastation Evoker, Frost Mage, Affliction Warlock. So Affliction was number 1 in threes, but a little less popular. Still really popular. I mean, these four are just way ahead, right? Like, look at this. 22% are Marks Hunters. 20% are Devastation Evokers. About 20% are Frost Mages, and about 20% are Affliction Warlock. And then it's a steep decline after that. Steep decline. Where Demo, Fire, and Og are the least represented. And then you have healers, Disc Priest still being the most popular, followed by Prez Evoker, and then Resto Shaman, Resto Druid, Paladin, and Holy Priest. So Holy Priest and Mistweaver consistently at the bottom. But this is where things can get interesting, right? Like we've looked at Arena, we've looked at Solo Shuffle, but there's a new mode in town, and it is Battleground Blitz. So I'm gonna look at 1800 plus. 2100 is a little bit too small of a sample size. So we'll look at 1800 plus and see, you know, what's kind of popular there. Subtlety Rogue being the most popular spec, followed by Demon Hunter. So that is a stark contrast, right? Like for arenas, you have Subtlety Rogues being kind of middle of the pack, and Demon Hunters actually being bottom of the pack. So that's a bit of a change where you have the Demon Hunters and the Sub Rogues being much more represented. Balance Druids being more represented here in Battleground Blitz. Marks Hunter still doing a great job. And then you're not seeing as many Shadow Priests. Like I said, this is a small sample size. We can do this again in like a week or whatever, but I thought it would be cool to look. So this isn't the best example of what's good, what's bad, but you can tell what people are putting time into, and you can tell what's good a little bit. And then of course you have for healers, Mistweaver Monks, instead of being the bottom, they are absolutely the top. So you have Mistweaver Monks at the top, followed by Resto Druid, Disc not being nearly as popular as it was in threes, or Solo Shuffle, and Preservoker just, you know, a little bit below Resto Druid. Paladins barely existing, Holy Priest not existing at all, and Shaman there's only 2. So very, very interesting to kind of look at some of the differences, and it's really curious. You know, what's going to be interesting to me is like Mistweaver Monk is a great example. There's a bunch of examples of this, but Mistweaver Monk is one of those examples. It's like what do they do to balance Mistweaver? We are seeing some changes coming in the the anniversary patch, but yeah, it's curious to me, like when you look at this data, like are Mistweaver Monks bad? Maybe they're not the best in threes, but they're certainly good in Battleground Blitz. So it's really interesting to see, at least for me, how they're going to move forward with balance and what they're going to prioritize. Are they going to try to make everything good and everything good everywhere? Or are they going to specifically, you know, try to make some specs a little bit more niche for Battleground Blitz, and that's okay. But yeah, very, very interesting.